You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
All county offices will be closed on Monday, May 28th in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. All county offices will reopen on Tuesday, May 29th, 2018. Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, May 14th, 2018. Commissioners Court is meeting in regular open session. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Item number 3 is the consent agenda. The consent agenda is composed of items 3A through 3J. We'd like to request for items 3B and 3J to be deleted. Are there any items that members of the court or the public would like to discuss individually?
You mentioned those were being deleted or pulled, Mr. Nava?
They'll deleted, please, Judge.
And that was J and
J and B.
Okay. Commissioners, any other items that you'd like pulled or deleted?
Move to approve. Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Bo.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 4A, resolutions. Approve and adopt a resolution recognizing the week of May 13th through May 19th, 2018 as National Police Week in El Paso County, Texas.
Caesar, I'm not sure if that's going to be the one that the sheriff is here. We have two items that are almost identical. Can you read item B into the record also, please?
Yes, sir. Item 4B. Approve and adopt a resolution recognizing May 11th, 2018 as Law Enforcement Appreciation Day in El Paso County, Texas.
Thank you. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I didn't know you all had started yet.
Well, thank you. Thank you for making it today. We appreciate it. I know that a couple of your chiefs are letting you stand by yourself this morning.
Typical.
But it does give me a tremendous amount of honor and pride to be able to read this into the record. And before I read this, one of the things that I was looking at is that Texas has lost, and I don't know how current this may be, it might be a couple of years old, has lost more than 1,600 officers in the line of duty, the state with the most officer fatalities. So it's a very sad statistic, but it plays into the way that our city is so secure and the price that is paid for being a secure city, a secure state. Whereas there are more than 900,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and all other local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies in El Paso County. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1791, more than 20,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and have been killed in the line of duty, including 58 members of law enforcement agencies in El Paso County, including El Paso Police Officer Adrian Arellano, whose end of watch was March 18, 2015, and El Paso Police Officer David Ortiz, who lost his life on March 14, 2016. And whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved in the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C., or recognized on the Texas Peace Officers Memorial in Austin, Texas, and whereas by joint resolution of Congress and signed by President John F. Kennedy on October 1, 1962, and proclaimed by President Trump in May, is designated as National Peace Officers Memorial Day in the week of May 15th, which falls on Sunday, 2018, through Saturday, May. These have the wrong years, but it's 2018. Whereas President Trump directs the flag to be flown at half-staff on Peace Officers Memorial Day, Sunday, May 15, 2018. Now therefore be it resolved that Commissioners Court in El Paso County formally designates May 15th, 2018 through May 21st, 2018 as Police Week in El Paso County, Texas, and publicly salutes the service of law enforcement officers in our community and communities across the nation. National Police Week signed this date by the honorable members of Commissioners Court. Okay.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Richard Wiles, El Paso County Sheriff. Thank you so much for presenting that resolution. It really means a lot to me personally and the Sheriff's Office as a whole. This is National Police Week, and tomorrow is National Police Memorial Day. And it is to, even though we should remember every day the sacrifices that are made by our men and women in law enforcement, and certainly here in El Paso we have many law enforcement agents at the federal, state, and county and local level. But that particular day is a day to reflect on those officers who have died in the line of duty and have really given their all for the safety of the community they served. So tomorrow, May the 15th at 10 a.m. at Sheriff's Headquarters, we will be having our memorial service for county law enforcement officers. You may remember we recently completed that memorial, mainly through donations from the public and also some confiscated drug money. It's a beautiful memorial to help recognize county law enforcement officers. We hadn't had one before. The first individual on there is a constable that was killed in 1881, and the last, of course, was Robert White, the constable who died in 2014. There's a total of 14 on there, and it includes constables, sheriff's officers, of course, and there's one from San Eli and one from Anthony. And so it's a great opportunity, and we're really glad to have that memorial so that the public can pay their respects, but the family knows that we will never forget the sacrifice that their loved one made for them. And also the city of El Paso is going to have their memorial on Friday at 9 a.m. at the Chuck Heinrich Park. And both of these events are open to the public, and certainly you all are invited, and we encourage people to attend. So thank you again for this resolution. It means a lot.
No, thank you, Sheriff. And I've got to tell you that memorial at your main office at your headquarters is just beautiful. I really enjoyed it, and I've got to say that over and above what I just read into the record, the sacrifices that your department makes, both in the detention department and your deputies out in the field, and you look at all the birthdays, the baseball games, and all the holidays that are missed. Like I said, over and above what I just read, a tremendous amount of sacrifices, but those are the facets that make our city so safe. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. I appreciate it. So, Commissioner, that was Resolution A. You're still going to read Resolution B?
I don't know if there's anybody from the security profession here this morning. I'll go ahead and read it into the record anyway. Whereas ASSIST International, the world's largest organization of security professionals with more than 37,000 members internationally, and is dedicated to advancing the security profession. And whereas law enforcement officers are the guardians of life and property and have dedicated themselves to this noble profession and deserve our appreciation for their contributions. And whereas we deem it a privilege to honor the men and women of law enforcement, and we also recognize the members of ASSIST, the El Paso chapter, and the community who see fit to pay homage to their comrades in law enforcement. Now, therefore, be it resolved that El Paso County Commissioners Court recognizes May 14th, 2018 as Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Signed this 14th day of May 2018 by the honorable members of Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
If somebody were to show up, Commissioner, in the next couple of minutes while we're still under the resolutions item, we can definitely have them come up and say a few words. So, okay.
Item number 4C, approve and adopt a resolution recognizing the month of May 2018 as Drug Court Month in El Paso County, Texas.
Cesar, thank you, Judge, Commissioners. It gives me, again, a tremendous amount of honor and thank you for joining us. I was looking around the courthouse and making sure somebody's here to receive the resolution. Thank you. Whereas over the past 27 years, drug courts have served approximately 1.4 million individuals. Drug courts are now recognized as the most successful criminal justice intervention in our nation's history. And whereas drug courts significantly improved substance abuse treatment outcomes, substantially reduced drug abuse and crime, and do so at less expense than any other justice strategy, and facilitate community-wide partnerships bringing together public safety and public health professionals in the fight against drug abuse and criminality. Whereas there are now over 3,200 specialty courts nationwide and are the cornerstone of criminal justice reform sweeping the nation, and have demonstrated that when one person rises out of drugs and crime, we all rise. And whereas El Paso County is dedicated to reducing drug usage and crime in 8 drug courts and 2 mental health courts in existence, with the Honorable Linda Chu presiding over the 61st District Family Preservation and Intervention Drug Court, the Honorable Patrick M. Garcia presiding over the 384th Judicial District Drug Court, the Honorable Sam Medrano presiding over the 409th Judicial District Juvenile Drug Court, the Honorable Robert S. Anchondo presiding over the DWI Drug Court Intervention Treatment Program and esteemed program, County Court Criminal Court Number 2, the Honorable Ricardo Herrera presiding over the Mental Health Court Intervention Program, County Court Number 1, the Honorable Terry Ligon presiding over the Project Hope Mental Health Court, the Honorable Lawrence Lujan presiding over the Isleta del Sur Pueblo Juvenile Drug Court, and the Honorable Angie Juarez Barril presiding over the El Paso Veterans Court 346th District Judicial Court. Now therefore be it resolved by Commissioners Court that Drug Court Month be established during the month of May 2018. Signed this 14th day of May 2018 by the honorable members of Commissioners Court.
Good morning, County Judge and Commissioners. Oh.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Rosie Medina. I'm the Director of Special Programs at the Juvenile Probation Department. I oversee our Juvenile Drug Court, which is headed by the Honorable Sam Medrano, as well as our Mental Health Court, Project Hope, with Judge Ligon. We are very appreciative and grateful for the support that not only the commissioners and the county offer to our programs, but also our community stakeholders that provide invaluable resources to support the youth and the families that we serve in both of our programs.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Ruth Fiero with the Family Drug Court. We're really happy that you all have always supported us. We work with the CPS families and trying to help families stay together. And we work real hard, and we are so happy that you all are here. Always we come to you all and you're supporting us, so thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Belinda Acuna, and I'm with the 65th Family Intervention and Preservation Drug Court.
Well, thank you all very much for being here this morning. I ran into Judge Medrano and Judge Anchondo sometime back, and I expressed to them that we can talk about what we don't prevent a lot. We know how many burglaries we had, how many assaults we've had, but what we can't put our finger on really is what we have prevented. And I can guarantee you, because of these courts, we've prevented a lot of crime and a lot of people being able to become very good, productive citizens, taxpayers in our county. So again, please express to us that we thank them for their service, and they're making an impact on our community.
And we appreciate the judges always being so inclusive of the Commissioners Court and the work that they're doing, but also always looking for the best opportunities for this county to be a leader across the state and nation. I know that we have done quite a bit when it comes to that regard, so we thank you very much for all the efforts of all the members that were mentioned by Commissioner Leon just a second ago. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Item number 4D, approve and adopt a resolution declaring Saturday, May 19th, 2018 as National Kids to Parks Day in El Paso County, Texas.
It is my privilege to read this resolution into the record. And Commissioners, as you know, the county has for many, many years taken a keen focus on ensuring that we promote our great outdoor assets, whether it's through ecotourism, the First Tee program in our community with movies at the parks. And we have also partnered with other entities outside of the county to work on getting folks to be active and outdoors, like the County Line to County Line Trail that's being worked on by the Paso del Norte Health Foundation. And so it's really an honor to read this resolution into the record this morning. Whereas May 19th, 2018 is National Kids to Parks Day, organized and launched by the National Park Trust, National Recreation Parks Association, Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, and the County of El Paso's Parks and Recreation Department. And whereas Kids to Parks Day empowers kids and encourages families to get outdoors and visit America's parks. And whereas it is important to introduce a new generation to our nation's parks. And whereas the County Parks and Recreation Department encourages children to lead a more active lifestyle to combat the issues of childhood obesity and chronic diseases through a variety of special event programs scheduled throughout county parks. And whereas the County Parks and Recreation Department urges residents of El Paso to make time on May 19th, 2018 to take the children in their lives to a neighborhood, state, or national park and broaden children's appreciation for nature and the outdoors. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court do hereby declare Saturday, May 19th, 2018 as County of El Paso Parks and Recreation Department and Texas Parks and Wildlife National Kids to Parks Day. Signed this 14th day of May 2018 by the members of the Honorable Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning. Please, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Veronica Myers, Parks and Recreation Director. The Parks and Recreation Department is honored to be hosting the inaugural Kids to Parks Day for the County of El Paso, Texas. National parks and recreation organizations are coming together to celebrate Kids to Parks Day in an effort to engage the local community in outdoor recreation opportunities that they may not otherwise have access to. In an effort to meet the county's goal of creating a vibrant community, the Parks and Recreation Department has partnered with other agencies to provide the community with environmental stewardship and conservation education so that children can explore and enjoy the outdoors and improve their quality of life. Thank you for your support, and we invite you to join us for the many activities we have planned this Saturday, May 19th, at Gallegos Park, Azcárate Park, the Sports Park, and Agua Dulce Park. So if you haven't experienced archery or archaeology dig or played golf or done some gone to the batting cages over at the sports park or done stargazing, which we'll have at Gallegos Park, please come out and join us. And with us, we have our special guests, some children, of course, which is some kids for Kids to Parks Day from our First Tee program. So.
Love to have them come up and say their names.
Okay.
Would everyone else like to introduce themselves before we shake hands? Yeah.
I'm Christy Alberzub, the Executive Director of the First Tee at Greater El Paso. And these are two of my First Tee kids.
Excellent.
They actually do our homeschool class. Where are you guys? We're hiding. This is Pete and Mark. How do you say your last name? Novoa? Novoa, sorry. Novoa. And they're some of our kids, and we're really happy to have them here today.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Round of applause, please. And Ms. Myers, thank you for all that you've done in the very short amount of time that you've been at the county. Excuse me. Allergies are. Oh. And of course, I forgot to give you your resolution, Ms. Myers. There you go.
Item number 4E, approve and adopt a resolution declaring Saturday, May 19th, 2018 as the El Paso Playhouse 55th Anniversary Day in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning again, Commissioners. It's my honor to read this resolution into the record and celebrate the great work that has occurred over the last 55 years at the El Paso Playhouse. So if our guests could please come up. Whereas beginning in 1963, the El Paso Playhouse, formerly known as the Festival Theater, has produced over 500 productions of exceptional quality on the stage over the course of 55 years, using the talents and skills of over 15,000 different volunteers in our community. And whereas these productions have provided opportunities to members all across the El Paso community, as well as members of the New Mexico community, as the theater has a long history of non-traditional casting. And whereas the El Paso Playhouse has filled over 400,000 seats at this historic theater and donated over 5,000 tickets to low-income children, seniors, and nonprofits, bringing family entertainment to a large sector of the El Paso community. And whereas the El Paso Playhouse helps other area nonprofits to generate thousands through our charity nights. And whereas the El Paso Playhouse Theater provides a breadth and depth of experience to students and community members to gain skills in understanding the various facets of theater, while at the same time learning the vital and transferable attributes of critical analysis, problem solving, and belief in one's own contributions, creativity, and ideas. And whereas the El Paso Playhouse is a mentoring program, a job training program, and has helped share knowledge between theater veterans and up-and-coming young artists for over 5 decades, all while using standards of professional theater practice. And whereas the El Paso Playhouse has supported the local economy and provided a place where people can not only enjoy live theater, but participate in this great art form. And whereas the El Paso Playhouse was fundamental in creating and providing what is now El Paso's foremost youth theater company, Kids & Co., which was created as an umbrella under the El Paso Playhouse beginning in July of 1988. Now therefore be it resolved that the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court do hereby proclaim Saturday, May 19th, 2018 as the El Paso Playhouse 55th Anniversary Day. And may it be further resolved that the El Paso Playhouse is commended for bringing high-quality theatrical productions in a diverse and inclusive environment and for maintaining the importance of live performance art in the greater Southwestern regional community. Signed this 14th day of May 2018 by the members of the Honorable Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being here with us.
No, thank you for having us. Judge, Commissioners, my name is Veronica Frescas, and I have the honor and privilege of being the president of the board of the El Paso Playhouse, as I have been for probably longer than I should be these last few years. So we thank you this morning for taking the time and to acknowledge this 55 years of a gem that we've had here in El Paso that still many have not heard about. We are the longest running community theater in El Paso, and as the resolution stated, we've done so much. We just ended our 54th season last night, or yesterday, with about, I was doing the math, about 40 somewhat shows. That's about 40 weekends a year where we're constantly running productions. And it is through those productions that we are able to generate the income and the funds that we need to continue to be putting on these shows. And why they are important is simply, if anything else, for our youth and our community members to come out, excuse me, and hone their skills. Behind me, I have here a couple of my board members, Minden Dixon, who is my vice president, and Yuriday Salcedo, who is the treasurer, who are also directors and performers at the Playhouse. And there's only a few of us here because the rest of us, we have to also work. So we were able to get wages to come and thank you for this acknowledgement. And May 19th, we are unveiling our 55th season with a party over at 2501, the Playhouse, where it has been for more than the 50 years. And we invite all of you to join us as we have a party. We have the Paso del Norte Big Band, who's going to be providing the entertainment. We'll have food and drinks. The tap will be on hand to offer their famous nachos. So it's a party to be had by all. But again, thank you so very much. We are very pleased to be here in the community and to offer community members. We've had people from Fort Bliss. We've had youth. We've had children as young as 7 who were in this show, all the way up, and we won't say their age. But it's open, and we are very proud to have the opportunity to have people who maybe wanted to try their hand at acting or working backstage and haven't done it since high school or not at all. And we've had people on stage who have done it not at all, and they've done so well. And we encourage all of you to come out and support us. Unfortunately, the arts seems to be a dying, dwindling well, when it comes to fundraising, we're as a 501c3, but we also do our part to have help other 501c3s, and we've helped others raise hundreds, some even thousands, through the charity nights. So I can go on and on because I'm very proud of this organization, but I know you have business to do. We have to get back to work. So thank you so very much.
Thank you for being here, and we appreciate all that you have done to make sure that the theater continues to be such a source of pride for El Paso. And I do hope that many folks who are watching and listening have the opportunity to turn out on Saturday. So thank you again.
Item number 5, public comment.
Mr. Nava, we have one member of the public signed up to speak, Mr. Pierre-Andre Uzarga. Good morning, Mr. Uzarga.
Yes, sir. Good morning, County Judge. Fellow commissioners, Americans, good morning. This past weekend was Mother's Day, and I couldn't help but wake up to some bittersweet emotions. You know, I asked God to bless my mother, and I asked God to bless my daughter, so when she grows up and she's a mother herself, you know, she's the best mom she can be. My mom's the best mom she can be. Policies that we have in place, ladies and gentlemen, you know, sometimes force certain people to behave a certain way out of fear or just misunderstanding. And I wanted to just touch on that based on, you know, the certifications or education that I have based in regards to just family systems and what have you. I hope that we can change the laws so that next Mother's Day or Father's Day even, we can begin to eliminate some of these unconstitutionalities and begin to really unify families as Americans ought to be unified. We should unify races and genders and sexual preferences and intellectual preferences and you know, diets or exercises, fashion, so on and so forth. I want to move on and talk about the Marijuana Justice Act. That's a problem that I have because marijuana, when we're focused on marijuana, that's fine, but we need to focus on cannabis. Cannabis is marijuana. Cannabis is hemp. And the Marijuana Justice Act, to me, is equivalent to back in the 30s when we were transitioning to legalizing alcohol. This is equivalent to legalizing bourbon and whiskey and criminalizing vodka and gin. Some people might prefer gin and vodka over whiskey and bourbon. And that's basically what's happening here. We're focusing on marijuana and not focusing on hemp. And in order to make sure that the quality of policies are at its prime, at the most efficient point possible, we have to focus on cannabis. So we have to federally legalize cannabis. Be specific with your wording, hemp and marijuana. That way, agriculturally speaking, there are no hiccups. That way, botanically speaking, there are no hiccups. Healthcare-wise, there are no hiccups because marijuana is related to those fields. So to the politicians, be aware of that. I do greatly appreciate your help, but we need to, I like to be included in some of this, quite frankly, which brings me to my next topic, the police. 900,000 law enforcement officers across the country, plus the 1.4 million drug court employees that are tied to that. Obviously, there's a lot of work being done, but there's still drug trends that we're dealing with, like murders during marijuana transactions. That's ridiculous. I never even would have dreamed of that growing up, even up until 5 years ago. When I heard this, I was like, wow, there's a lot of that limbo that I was talking about basically puts us, the kids, we got to worry about highway trafficking. So, law enforcement officers are going, certain units are going after a dealer, taking them down, but automatically one comes back up because it's so easy to just cross state lines, pick up some product and then bring it back and fill that void that was just, dug out. It's so easy for somebody to fill that gap. And so law enforcement has to think more. I mean, it's great that we decriminalize. It definitely sets us in the right direction. But legalization eliminates a lot of the dangers that our police officers and sheriff's department have to deal with when it comes to clocking in and who are we targeting next. Because they're putting their lives on the line. And they really shouldn't have to have that much stress. They shouldn't have to worry about me killing somebody. I'm a marijuana consumer, a cannabis consumer. The sheriff and I that's not what it's about. We should be like this. Those harder drugs that we talked about, synthetics and what have you, illegal weapons where it puts kids on, in danger because we find those out in the streets. That's what we need to focus on. And I did want to talk about the monies that we're losing federally. I believe truly, and I think about this all the time, this is my life work, if you will. Nikki Haley, Antonio Gutierrez, and the Donald, our president, are the people who I think I should be sitting down with and talking about the monies. 320 million Americans in the country. Let's say half of them, just half of us, that's 160 million people. Let's say we spend just $10 a month, ladies and gentlemen, just $10 a month under a legalized market. That's $1.6 billion that the industry would generate. Then you take $1.6 billion at 20%. That gives you the $320 million in tax dollars monthly. That's a low projection. Half the population, $10 a month at 20%. That's what we're getting a month. We're talking billions of dollars annually. So I want to close with that. Think about all the good we can do with that. Kids, family, what have you. Thank you for your time and your attentive ears. I really do appreciate it. God bless us all. It's about that flag, that flag. We'll see you next week.
Have a good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Izárraga.
Thank you so much again.
We normally skip around to take some of the items that our guests are here for, but we have an incredibly light agenda today, so I think we're going to go ahead and just stick to the order of business.
Thank you, Judge. Item number 6, board appointments. Approve and authorize the reappointment of Matthew Keats to the County of El Paso Civil Service Board for the term beginning May 14, 2018 through May 13, 2020.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. Betsy Keller, County Administrator. We're requesting the Commissioners Court approve the reappointment of Matt Keats. The nomination for this appointment, this rotation actually comes through Commissioner Stout's office. It rotates normally between precincts. There's 3 seats. One is by the county judge. The other 2 seats rotate. This particular rotation is to be appointed by Commissioner Stout. This would be Mr. Keats' 3rd 2-year term, and it would be for a term beginning May 14th and running through May 13th, 2020.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 7, approve and authorize the reappointment of County Judge Ruben Vogt's appointee, Connie Crawford, to the Housing Authority Board for the term beginning May 15th, 2018 through May 14th, 2020.
Commissioners, I'm sure that all of you have had the pleasure of meeting with Ms. Crawford at some point during her time on the county's Housing Authority. She's not only served as a member, but now serves as the chairwoman of the Housing Authority. She is a former employee of El Paso County in the county attorney's office as an assistant county attorney working out in the hospital district for quite some time. And so it is my pleasure to ask that we reappoint her to continue serving.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 8, economic development. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the Borderplex Alliance Air Service Initiative Project Consultant Services Agreement to share costs for consulting services to develop new nonstop air routes from El Paso to key business destinations. Funds in the amount of $9,667 are available. Contract number 2018-0262.
And Mr. Quinones, before you get started, I have to tell you that one of the big questions that I get when I'm with friends or family or just in the community is, when are we going to get more flights to come through El Paso? And why don't we serve as the hub for flights flying from the U.S. to Mexico because of our position on the border? And so I'm really excited to receive today's presentation.
Thank you, Judge. Jose Quinones, Director of Economic Development. Commissioners, good morning. I'm here today working with Borderplex Alliance. Last year, we formed a coalition. We call it the Borderplex Alliance Air Services Initiative, and it's made out of the City of El Paso International Airport, Greater El Paso Chamber of Commerce, the county, and Borderplex Alliance. And we're here to talk to you about a proposal to help fund the initiative to move forward on that, is to help El Paso take advantage of its position. We need more direct air service routes. That's it. We do have a lot. I mean, you can travel from El Paso, we know that, and connect almost to any major region of the city. But we really, to grow and to become a larger, more active economic booming community, this is part of the strategy. And coming from an air service background, I know that it's not an easy thing to do. So here's where we're at. We have an opportunity. We brought in this consultant. He's very known in the industry, the airline industry, has an economic development, understands how the airlines work. This contract calls for, it's into 3 phases. The first phase is $8,667. plus $1,000 for collateral materials. Collateral materials is basically the marketing materials that he's going to help us develop to go out there and market the region, market the El Paso International Airport as the next place for them to grow a new route. Should we find, and the consultant will give the coalition feedback, if we find it that yes, there is room and there's a lot of opportunity, we would move forward with phase 2, and in phase 2 they would continue canvassing opportunities. He would be doing a lot of work with Borderplex Alliance to develop those revenue pledges. And I'm going to get into that because I think might be questions about this. Obviously, the third phase would come, and it's also another 4-month phase that would be included. A little bit of background before we go into it, just to give you a comparison. You see Albuquerque on the second column down, El Paso, and then Tucson. Those are all 3 international airports. They're the major airports in those respective regions. As you can see there, Albuquerque has many more nonstop direct flights versus El Paso, and then Tucson still even has more nonstop direct flights. We're a little bit isolated, so we definitely need room for improvement. And the cities that we're going to go after include New York, Detroit, and San Francisco. Why New York, Detroit, and San Francisco? I know that El Paso International has their own consultants, and they define these three cities as being top hit cities for us to develop a direct nonstop service. New York, obviously, because of it being a major hub, the largest metro in the country. We also know because of the connections to the European market. Detroit, because of its connections to Canada and also the European market. And San Francisco, obviously, its connections to the West and to the Asian market are very key to grow El Paso. There are routes that are close by. You can get to Los Angeles. Yes, you can get to Atlanta. But we really need, when people travel to Asia or Europe, you just want to make one stop. And this is your stop in a major city, and from there you cross the Pacific or you cross the Atlantic Ocean. So let me get a little bit into minimum revenue guarantees. The idea about it is El Paso International, and like most airports, they can't fund directly based on FAA guidelines. They can't fund directly these minimum revenue guarantees. It's not allowed by FAA law. So local communities that are interested in developing more nonstop service must work hard to do this. And so El Paso's in the mix. The plan is to work with regional businesses, work with businesses not only here in El Paso, but in southern New Mexico and in Las Cruces, in Ciudad Juarez as well, because of its direct connections to major European and Asian markets. The connections are very strong there. So the plan would be is that they set up a fund. It is funded directly by all these businesses, and this fund becomes the minimum revenue guarantee account, in which those funds will be pledged there. And if at any time the airline is not able to get enough of its revenue met, then it could tap into that minimum revenue account that's set up there. After 2 years, and this is occurring in many competitive markets like those in Kentucky that have a very similar ratios of growth, South Carolina, North Carolina, you see this going on as well. Funds can be distributed back to the original donors, to the companies, after the first 2 years. So what the airlines are looking for is guarantees to say, okay, we're going to pull one of our planes off of another our market, a route that's maybe making revenue, and we're going to bring it to El Paso and connect you to Detroit or connect you to New York. Then we need a guarantee for it to work out, and the plan is 1 to 2 years for it to develop. Well, after 2 years, then more than likely it's considered a successful route, and it should continue as such. What is the consultant going to do? This is the work that's laid out in the scope of work for the consultant. He'll be involved in helping us do the fundraising campaign, air service recruitment to these markets, developing an RFP, market profile on El Paso, all the details that go into presenting, scheduling presentations with each respective airlines, and as well as communication services, preparing draft press releases for the Borderplex initiative, and also the administrative services. So there's a lot of work that goes into that. It's very specialized. They know when is the time to hit up these airlines and what strategies you need to prepare when you set up those meetings. That's what the consultant's going to be involved with. Questions?
I do have a quick question. So when you compare Albuquerque to El Paso, is the fact that they have more flights based on them being the largest airport in the state, or have they engaged in a similar concept like we're talking about doing now? Or is there another reason why they might be?
I'm going to ask Robert to come up here from Borderplex to see if he's been dealing also directly with a consultant. Robert Palacios.
And not necessarily just on Albuquerque, but if this model has been used in other locations and we've seen success based off of it.
Yes, so I can't speak directly to Albuquerque as far as if they've done the MRG model. I know that some of it is probably due to, like you said, them being the largest in the state. They may have used the MRG model in the past, but I can say that there are other cities that have used the MRG model successfully, and even a few that have worked with the same consultant that we have engaged with. In Louisville, Kentucky, they've done, I believe they were the largest city in the country up until recently that did not have a direct flight to the Los Angeles area. And so Luke worked with this, Luke from LB Schmidt and Associates, the consultant, worked with them to develop the MRGs to get the flight to Los Angeles. I know it's happened in North Carolina, it's happened in Cincinnati. So there have been a number of markets across the country where MRGs have been employed successfully.
And so today's action item is to approve funding for phase 1. The other phases would come back to us independently once we see the success of each phase being implemented. Is that correct?
We have funding to cover also phase 2, but if you like, we can also come to you after that and give you a report and update based on the first 4 months before we proceed to that and approve payment.
I'm happy with either, but I was under the understanding that this was just approval for phase 1 today, right? Okay.
Yes.
Commissioners, any other questions, concerns? Commissioner Ryan?
Do we have a tentative airline that's going to be providing this service?
There's a few airlines that hit the list. Obviously, one would be American Airlines, another one would be Delta, could be United. But because they're the major airlines that service most of the country, those would be at the top of the list. They're not the only ones, I have to tell you that. There's a few others depending on where they are, what planes are coming online, their disposition as far as available stock of aircraft. That all comes into play because, as I said, every aircraft that's out there that's flying across the country, they have to consider which one is least profitable for them and what makes sense for El Paso also. And they make these decisions.
I guess my question is more, we don't have an airline in mind, a specific airline that expressed interest in this yet. Is that correct?
So we did have, there were some conversations not related to this, but a couple years ago relating to a flight to Detroit. Borderplex Alliance had kind of looked into it. And Delta did express some interest in starting a flight from El Paso to Detroit. So really what it would probably be is we would look at what airports it's going to be within those regions. I think Detroit only has one, but of course San Francisco has 3, New York has 3. So we would be looking at, which airline has a hub in that particular airport, and then that would kind of dictate which airline we're going to be pursuing. So for Detroit, I believe it would be Delta. For the New York area, if we're looking at Newark, I believe that would be United. SFO, I'm not sure. I think that would be United also. So it would really depend on the individual airport that we're targeting.
Thank you.
And just one last question. What does success in phase 1 look like? I know it might have been on one of the slides, but is that the phase where we begin to engage some of these airlines to talk to the businesses? Do we start to create the fund in phase 1? No?
So phase 1, what we're doing at this point is really just asking for pledges, because we realize that there's a chance that we don't reach our goal of funding that we would need to make these MRGs a success, or even to make one a success. So the initial phase would be, we're going to be talking to private sector companies and government entities asking for pledges that if the MRG should hit the funding minimum, that then you would pledge to contribute to the campaign. So the phase 1, really what defines success in phase 1, we haven't come up with a dollar amount yet, but it's really going to be dependent on the momentum. If we're getting a lot of interest, people signing pledges, if we can tell that this is going to be something, if we're well on our way towards hitting that goal, that would, I think, would define success. If we are finding that there's just not the interest to contribute to this at all, then I think that would be not a success. But again, as far as the funding and when those contributions would actually have to be committed, it wouldn't be until at least one of these minimum amounts to fund a minimum revenue guarantee account is hit, and then everyone would be, their pledges would be called in.
I love the idea of creating more things, don't get me wrong, but we're paying our fair share of $10,000 to pay people to go ask people for money.
So the $10,000, so the $10,000 is going to be for this consultant. And so the reason that we felt it was necessary to employ this consultant is that, as Mr. Quiñones mentioned, there's a lot of intricacies to the airline industry. There's certainly a number of connections that need to be made outside of the El Paso area with companies and with institutions in our target markets that we're looking at that will also ideally help us raise funding, that we felt that we didn't have someone either on the Borderplex staff or in our partners entities that was equipped to handle that. They didn't have the real expertise of the airline industry that this consultant has, and also that had the ability to spend weeks at a time in the target markets doing fundraising there. And so that's why we felt that if we were going to do this and make it successful, we really needed to have some outside help, who, number one, has the expertise in the airline industry, and who, number two, has the ability to be traveling a lot and spending extensive time in the target markets and traveling to meet with the airlines and all that.
Any other questions?
And just to be clear, it was 8,667 for for phase one, and then it's the $1,000, a one-time contribution of $1,000 towards the development of marketing materials for the project itself.
Okay. And after phase one, will we have an idea of an airline potentially that may be interested, or is that later in a different phase?
We should have an idea by that point. I think, like I said, it's really going to depend on the target airport. So let's say we get a lot of interest for a flight to Newark Airport in New York area. If we're looking at targeting Newark, that's probably going to dictate which airline is going to be interested, because, you know, if they don't have a Newark hub, they're probably not going to fly from a secondary market to a secondary market direct. So that would probably dictate, you know, we need to go with United, or the same for Detroit, we need to go with Delta. So really once the MRG has been funded or close to funding, or in some stage where, you know, it's clear that there's a lot of progress being made, then we can go with the consultant to the airlines, and that would really be more of the key of which airline would be interested. That would really kind of answer that question for us, ideally.
And I promise this is the last question. Do we know what the pot of money looks like, or what it needs to be at in order to be able to attract?
Yes. So it's about $1 million per route is what we need to get one of these routes. So we have 3 right now that are on the list. There's no guarantee that all 3 would fund, or obviously no guarantee that even one would fund. But we do have 3 that we're looking at, because we recognize that some companies, for example, might be willing to contribute to one but not the other. So we want to make sure that we're casting kind of a wide net. So when we go out there, you know, we have 3. We have one in the Midwest, one on each coast. And then from there we can see, well, where is the interest? And if it's clear that one is, you know, doing a lot better than the other, well, maybe we adjust our strategy. But in order to get at least one, we would need roughly $1 million for a route.
I've got one more question. And so that fund is to be made up both public money and private money.
Yes.
What would be the split, basically?
You know, we're still coming up with the exact breakdown there. We don't have the answer for that right now. I think once we get this project with a consultant underway and really start having some more conversations with the different groups, I think we'll have a better answer of what that would look like.
Well, and I would assume that's part of the consultant's job in phase one, to gauge interest from the business community to see if they're willing to kick in funding for something like this. And then the split will then commence, I guess.
Well, that creates a fear of how much of a split are we expected to pony up for this too. I mean, and to say let's pay $10,000 to find out how much we need to pay later. I'm totally for the idea, but I'm not getting a huge amount of great feelings at the same time.
I mean, I do think it's good for us to at least engage in this conversation. We've never, at least as far as I know, looked at this level. And so to be able to get that feedback from the consultant, and at that point, it'll still have to come back for us to engage in phase 2 or 3 or 4, if there's 4, to determine whether or not the county still wants to participate in providing any additional funding. But at least this gives us perspective that we haven't had.
Right. That's a good point. And to your point, Commissioner Haggerty, what the original goal when we first started talking to this consultant is he had asked us to sign up for 1 year up front because that's what he felt would be the minimum necessary to get to a point where we have a new route funded and air services agreement signed and ready to go. We went back to him with exactly your concern and said, that's a whole year. What's going to happen if after 3 or 4 months there's no progress? Are we on the hook for 8 or 9 months of work that's not really going to go anywhere? He understood that concern and said, okay, well, let's break it down into 3 phases. We need at least 4 months just to be able to say if there's any, even to have any kind of an idea. And then if at that point the answer is no, then, we don't have to do the next 2 phases. So I understand your concern, but I think that the way we're doing it addresses that, the $8,000 or the $9,000, actually, about $10,000 is really the minimum that would be needed in order to get any sort of an idea of whether there's anything there.
I have one more question. Sorry.
Sure.
When it comes to the first phase, the fundraising part, right? So is this guy going to be talking to just companies here, or also in the other cities? Because it seems to me that if you're just going to be talking to companies here, he's not from here, right? I mean,
right. No, not just from here. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one of the big reasons why we felt it was necessary to bring him on board is that having somebody that has the ability, go spend a week in San Francisco and fundraise there, or spend a week, in Detroit, and he does have connections in various parts of the country. So yeah, he'll be doing some fundraising here, of course, but also in the different markets that we're targeting.
What about Juarez?
You mean the
maquilas in Juarez, the big Delphi, and other companies that would benefit from the direct flights?
Yes, absolutely. We have already actually started some very preliminary conversations with some representatives in Juarez, and obviously, because the Juarez airport doesn't have international flights, chances are a lot of people from Juarez would be using this as the flight that they would choose to take. So we're definitely looking at that market as well.
Okay. I would move to approve item 8.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Court.
Looking forward to that presentation in 4 months. Mr. Nava, we could take item 11, please. We've made the sheriff wait long enough. Sorry, Sheriff. I didn't think that was going to take as long.
I think he's got to accept the item.
Item number 11, grant applications. Approve the submission of county grant applications as listed and described. If awarded, all grant award agreements will be brought back to the Commissioner's Court for final acceptance and approval. Item 11, approve and authorize the El Paso County Sheriff's Office to apply for the Bulletproof Vest Partnership Body Armor Safety Initiative from the Office of Justice Programs, U.S. Department of Justice, for 60 vests in the amount of $16,770 with a 50% county match, for a total project cost in the amount of $33,540.
Morning.
Morning, Judge. Morning, Commissioners. Ryan Urrutia, I'm the commander of the Patrol Bureau.
Have we identified funding for the cash match? I'm assuming that we already have, right?
This is a regular budget item.
So it's already in there? Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions, Commissioner Leon?
Commander, does this also include some vests for the constable's offices?
No, the constable has their own budget. We're applying only into the sheriff's office. Yes, sir.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And if we could take item 10 and then 9 after that, please.
Item number 9, purchasing.
10, please.
Oh, 10 for, I'm sorry. Item number 10, Approve and authorize the purchasing agent to reject all responses and end the procurement process for RFP number 1801013, prisoner extradition and transportation services for the County of El Paso Sheriff's Department.
Morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. On March the 1st, we opened the bids for prisoner transport. We were through the RFP evaluation when it became evident, based on evaluator comments, that the specifications themselves may not have adequately addressed the needs of both sides of the Sheriff's Office. Once the evaluation process was done and that was talked about amongst the management in the Sheriff's Office, they've requested that they go back and be able to attack those specifications again. So what I'm actually requesting in this is the ability to reject all responses, close out, and then when they have the specs the way they think they want them so that their comprehensive needs are addressed, we will come back and request permission to go out for another RFP.
Questions? Move to approve as outlined.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 9, rescind the online enrollment portion of RFP number 17033, long-term disability, short-term disability benefits, online enrollment, prepaid legal services for the County of El Paso to Benefit Focus, Charleston, South Carolina. Further, approve and authorize the purchasing agent to solicit proposals for online enrollment. In accordance with Local Government Code 262.030, the purchasing agent has reviewed the use of the request for proposal process.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. This item will carry 2 motions. The first is to rescind the online portion only of an award that you made in September of 2017. We were in the contracting stage, and unfortunately, neither the county nor the company could come to an agreement on liability issues. The departments requested that in this case you rescind the award and that we immediately turn around and do an RFP for this, which would be the second part of the motion. The specifications are good, and so we're ready to move.
Move to rescind and approve the authorization to resolicit bids.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Item number 12, Budget and Finance. Approve amendment number 31 to the County of El Paso's 2017-2018 operating budget. This budgetary amendment will not increase or decrease the overall budget of $485,296,810.37.
Good morning, County Judge and Commissioners. Gabby Federal from the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department. Are there any questions on the budget transfers?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries. This brings us to item number 13, executive session. Commissioners Court will now recess into executive session to discuss items 13A through 13F pursuant to Texas Code Section 551.071, 551.087, and 551.072. Commissioners Court will reconvene to take official action.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barrid started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the Purchasing Department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the Purchasing Department at telephone number 915-546-2048. All county offices will be closed on Monday, May 28th in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. All county offices will reopen on Tuesday, May 29th, 2018. Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
Now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barriz started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for this specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048. all county offices will be closed on Monday, May 28th in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. All county offices will reopen on Tuesday, May 29th, 2018. Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
Now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched the prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
Commissioners Court has reconvened into regular open session. Item number 14, discuss and take appropriate action on the pending litigation of Francisco A. Ortiz versus El Paso County, Texas et al. Cause number 2016 DCV 4247. County Attorney's Case number 027316LD.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioner. Selena Saenz, Assistant County Attorney. On this matter, I'm asking for a motion to approve and authorize the county judge to sign the settlement and release of all claims agreement in this matter as negotiated by the county attorney's office.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 15, approve and authorize the county judge to sign a Chapter 381 Economic Development Agreement with West Star Tower, LLC, contract number 2017-0757.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Jose Quiñones with Economic Development. The department is asking for a recommendation and a motion to approve a 381 agreement with West Star Tower, LLC, in the total incentive amount of $2,934,721.72.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
That concludes today's agenda. It's weird.
Concludes today's meeting at 11:51 a.m.